Hello, everybody. It's Daniel here, and this is our next Emotional English Podcast episode where we learn an English language effortlessly, emotionally, fulfilled with energy, and of course, positively. Welcome, everyone. And today we're continuing our topic about our journals, right? About our diaries, right? So it's a pretty good topic, and today is the final episode about how to write a diary. We had finished the topic about brainstorm, so we got the topics which we can use, right? And now we're going a little bit deeper. We discussed the time management, if I'm not mistaken, as well. And the final statement is about getting into a routine. And this topic I want to discuss today. Actually, there are not a lot of, steps which you should follow. There are only 3 of them and some other little recommendations which I can share with you today. And so let's begin, shall we? Another great recommendation, and we can start with a simple explanation of the word routine. This is the beginning. This is the first thing what you should understand, that you should understand what is routine, and do you have a routine to write down your diary or to jot down your diary, or you don't have this routine, right? So if you do not have this routine, you should find the energy to create one. Routine, it's the activity which you make every day. Okay, for example, if you drink 1 glass of water every day, it's getting into your routine. When you work from 9 to 6, it's getting into your routine, and you do it pretty often, right? So, and your body reacts much more simply on it. I think our beautiful philosopher, his name was Pythagoras, he said something about routine as something like, if you want to live life very simply, the best thing you can do is to create the routine. It makes your life more simple. And I completely agree with that, because if you have no routine, if you have no mundane procedure, mundane means the thing which is pretty banal, right? Which you do pretty often, average, right? Routine. So you don't have an ease, right? An ease, it's the feeling of an easy action, right? When you have ease in your life, it's much more easier to live, to do things. If you have no ease, probably there is no option to live life easy, okay, or easily. So let's start from the first recommendation. So I hope you understand what is routine, and we're getting into a routine right now. Let's start from the first recommendation. Number 1 is we should choose a specific time each day to write in your diary. It's very important, because without this step, you will not create your routine. When you do things at the same time, at the specific time which you found for yourself, right? It makes your journaling much more easier. So you're jotting down at 6 a.m. or 7 or 12 p.m. It doesn't matter. It must be the same time, because when your schedule changes pretty fast, it's not make your life easier, right? So it's you're getting into stress, right? You don't want this. You need flawless result. You need something simple and resultative, right? And I think this is very good recommendation. So you just choose specific time, 1 period of time each day to write in your diary, right? So let's read what this website, WikiHow, as always, I use WikiHow for my podcast, for my practical podcast. So many people struggle to find the time to write in their diary. Others simply forget to write. It helps to choose a specific time each day for diary writing so that you can develop the habit. Eventually, it will become second nature, but it can help to set a daily reminder on your phone until then. Okay. So, a couple great phrases I found out here, right? So, the first one is habit. Habit is the same thing as your routine, right? It's pretty synonymic word, right? So you can create a habit or you can create your own routine, which will help you to write in your diary. And another thing, what I can say here is that our daily reminder can help you with this thing. So reminders, it's like an alarm clocks for you, right? So when you need to do something, the reminder helps you to remember to do something important, right? So you can use the timer, or you can use the specific alarm clock at the same time every day to start your jotting off, right? Or to start your writing. So, for example, most of people, they struggling with this. Struggle means feel not very good. When you're struggling, you going through an experience in a very hard way. So when I'm struggling with something, it's not very simple to me, right, to do something. But many people struggle. Many people have a lot of problems with what? With finding the time to write the diary, right, or to write in their diary. And this is the number one priority for us. So to find the time. Others simply forget to write, right? So you can simply forget to write something down or to jot something down. And this is my thing, actually. Sometimes I want to write something down, but I just simply forget. And this is a very bad situation because you're losing your routine. You can create your routine and you can lose your routine pretty simply. You're just creating another routine to not do something. It's pretty simple and it's very dangerous, So set a daily reminder. This is a very good recommendation. A couple more sentences here. For example, you might choose to write in your diary every night, right before bed. Okay, pretty good. It's like a ritual, right? You can create the ritual. See, so we have three synonymic words here. So you can create the ritual, you can create a routine, or you can create a habit. So you can just diversify your speech using these three words about a repeated action, which you do every day, right? Or repeating action. So, for example, another statement here, don't set an unrealistic schedule for yourself, right? So if you're a very busy man or lady or woman, it's vitally important to be realistic, right? So if you're super busy, it doesn't make any sense to put something in your list because it's vividly clear, right, that you cannot make it happen, right? So try to write something down. For example, I like to have minimums and maximums, right? So, for example, I have a goal to write into my diary 3 times a week, right? It's good enough for me. And if I can do more than that, it's beautiful. But when I cannot, it's okay too. But minimum 3 times a week, I do have some some of my writings there, So that's just plan minimum or plan maximum. It's up to you. And it's important to understand that unrealistic schedule, unrealistic plan is not for us. So we should start from something realistic, right? If writing every day seems out of reach, plan or writing entry 3 times a week instead. This is a very good recommendation, right? Writing entry 3 times a week. Next one is keep your writing sessions short in the beginning. It's a very good recommendation, to be honest. First of all, it's good because when you writing something down in a long way, right? If you're writing a lot, most of the time it's just watery, it's nothing important there. So I realized that the best thing is to spend 15 minutes on your writings or on your jots, right? it's important. So for the beginners, it's the best. It makes your life experience not that hard, and it makes your life simple, right? So you don't have to set aside a huge chunk of time every day for writing in your diary. 10 or 15 minutes per session is a great goal when you're just starting out. Jot down your most pressing and immediate feelings and thoughts. You can always write more later in the week when you have time. So, very good to expression here, right? Pressing and immediate feelings, right? So the feelings which you think are the best, right? They're pressing, they they create feelings of yourself, right? So if you do have some feelings, negative or positive, just use these feelings as an instrument and write or jot things down for 10, 15 minutes per session. Start from this case. If you have some more time, okay, continue, no problem. It's completely fine to come back to your routine later on. For example, you could write a few key bullet points in your diary when you are pressed for time. Another recommendation here is setting an intimidating schedule for yourself could be counterproductive. You want journaling to be an outlet, not a chore. So go easy on yourself. Another connection with our previous recommendation, right? So our journaling must be an outlet, right? It must be funny. It must be fun in general. It mustn't be a chore, okay? When something is a chore, it's like your unpleasant routine, okay? For example, somebody if you live alone, you should clean your toilet, and this is your chore to wash your toilet every week, right? So, I mean, general cleaning, when you are just spending enough time to clean the whole bathroom, for example, right? Bathroom, and that's quite important. It's your chore. But when something is not pleasant, you will not go to do it again, because it makes you unhappy, right? We need to feel good while we jotting down or writing our journal. That's why 10, 15 minutes, good enough. So we don't want to set an intimidating schedule. Intimidating, again, like unrealistic, hard, tough. We don't want this. It's going to be counterproductive. Very good phrase. Counterproductive. It's not productive. It's the opposite of productive. It's counterproductive, right? And the last statement here, pick a time to write when you don't have other obligations or time constraints. Okay, this is very good. Do you remember what does it mean, time constraints or just constraints? Yeah, these are complications or things which you should finish or do. For example, if you have some obligations to pick up your son from your kindergarten or pick up your daughter from school, so it's an obligation and it's your time constraint. So you don't want to write your journal at this time. So you should find the free space in your schedule and write things in your diary 10, 15 minutes there. Okay. So do not do things simultaneously, okay, at the same time. It makes your experience counterproductive, okay? And the last but not least recommendation here, number 3, is use illustrations if you prefer drawing to writing, okay? It's very good recommendation, by the way. So who said that you should only use words, Probably pictures are better way if you're a very creative person, right? So some people find it easier to convey their thoughts and emotions through drawing rather than writing. I like this word convey, right? To express, to explain things, right? On paper. So convey their thoughts. You can convey your thoughts via words or via pictures, right? You can draw something and it's much better than writing. If you're more likely to stick to a schedule when drawing or sketching is involved, feel free to use that approach. Perfect. Yeah, I love sketches, but when I'm using my Mac, it's not so easy to sketch. Maybe when you have an iPad, it's much easier to sketch, to draw there. But I'm classically using my, Mac Notes. It's just the app from MacBook, and I'm writing things down there. And it's very comfortable, and I have no chance to draw something there. I'm not using this option, right? But if you do have something, materialized, right? Let's say if you have a little copybook, so you can draw there. You can use your journal or daily planner to express your feelings and emotions by pictures. You can draw a picture of a mad person and mad face or smile, right? Or emoji. So be creative with your journal. It's definitely will make you happy. And quick drawings may also help you get down something that you want to remember, but don't have time to write about. Yeah, it's, for example, sometimes we have an idea, but we don't have enough time to form the word list, for our specific picture in our mind, or we have a lack of vocabulary in English, and it's better for us to draw a picture and then use words to describe the picture. So picture helps you to express your feelings. And of course, when you have a lack of vocabulary in a specific language, when you're learning the new language, it's better to start from a picture and then express the picture. Okay, so you start with a picture, you drawing the picture, and then you describing the picture which you just finished. All right, so try this one. It's very cool. It's very good recommendation, and I think it's gonna work for you. And again, we're not just discussing the topic of how to write a diary in Russian. We're discussing it in English. So all these recommendations, which we just came through, all of these things are important for our English learning purpose. Okay. So please do not use these recommendations just for Russian journaling. It's not the case of emotional English. We are learning something new in English, and we're using the techniques to improve our skills even deeper. So just use your imagination, just use your journal, and go through these recommendations. If you want to refresh your mind with all these ideas which we came through, so just listen to these podcast episodes one more time. So we have 3 parts. Just start from the first one, go to the second one, and finish your journey with your journal with the third part. And that's all for today. But I have a bonus thing for you guys, and it's a recommendation how you can write your thoughts in your journal. So I use the technique of Mark Aurelius. Mark Aurelius was the greatest emperor. He was the good philosopher and the big fan of Stoicism. And he used the technique in his book. He has a book, Meditation, or the discussion with himself, something like this. I think Meditations, it's the name of the book in English. And he uses the very good technique. It's called the discussion with yourself. So when you imagine yourself in the future and you have this person in the future, and that person in the future recommends something to yourself right now. Okay. Imagine you had experienced something already. For example, I want to have a perfect body, right? I want to lose my weight, for example, right? And I have the journal. I have my diary. So I'm jotting down something to myself now from the future. For example, I say, okay, Danila, you know what? How bad is it to eat sugar? Please do not eat sugar. Sugar makes you fat. That's it. Nothing more. It's just the recommendation from my future to the moment here and now. And I think it's very short. It's very beautiful, and it makes sense because you directly see the way how to improve your situation. For example, if you do have some struggles or struggling with if you're struggling with relationships, right? You do have a relationship problem. So you're writing down something like this: be more respectful with people who surrounds you, right? Or be more kind with your parents, right? Or be more kind to your parents. So it's important because it makes your relationships better, right? When you're kind, just practice kindness with people who surrounds you. Okay. This is the recommendations, right? It's called Mark Aurelius style or meditation style. So that's the bonus tip from myself. I use this technique and it works very nice. It's very short. You don't need to write a lot of emotions or expressions. Just use one recommendation. And remember, one sentence, one idea, right? It's very important. Yeah, I think that's all for today. If you guys want to discuss a specific topic, or you do have some recommendations, or you do have some, you're interested in something, right? You really want to know something, or you want to hear the specific information, just write me down to my social medias. So just go to my Instagram. It's instagram.com/Bondarison. Bondarison.english on TikTok. I have a YouTube channel as well, Emotional English, and all my podcasts available there as well. So just go to social medias where you can find me and send me your message, maybe your feedback, maybe your recommendation, maybe something you like about our podcast or what you don't like. Just let me know what you think about our podcast. So, and let's stay in touch. Let's be positive. Let's be fulfilled with energy. Let's be excited about our language learning process, right? And don't worry about your mistakes, because we are human beings. We all do or make mistakes, right? And it's completely fine. It's good to make mistakes because you're getting smarter when you are facing your mistakes. So that's all for today. I hug you all, guys. I kiss you all. So let's stay in touch, and I see you next week. Bye-bye.